They are business leaders, experts in economy, society, and culture. In 15 minutes, their insights will create a vivid picture of Vietnam. Sharing Vietnam, the country as you see it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sharing Vietnam from NatViet channel VTC 10. I'm Phương Lien. As you know that in business, profit is always the top priority. However, besides profit, we also need to proper attention to the interests of the community as well as society. Therefore, CSR must be integrated into business strategy of the firm, and it will be an essential part leading to the success of the enterprises. And today in our program, we'll have a chance to talk with Mr. Florian Beranek, Chief Technical Advisor CSR of UNIDO Vietnam, about CSR and its role in Vietnam. So Mr. Beranek, thank you for coming here today.
Hi.
So before jump to the talk, let's have a look at the short clip to know more about our guest today.
Mr. Florian Beranek is currently the Chief Technical Advisor of Social Responsibility Project, which is sponsored by a Swiss organization implemented by UNIDO and 8 other partners. He moved to Vietnam at the end of 2009, and the periods of 2 years living and working in Vietnam has made the Austrian man fall in love with Vietnam as well as consider it his second home. Mr. Beranek is an outgoing, funny, and thoughtful of others. He spent his spare time going around Hanoi Street by his electric motorbike and enjoying coffee with friends.
Welcome back. So Mr. Beranek, as we have seen from the clip that one of your hobbies is to going around Hanoi Street by your motorbike and enjoy coffee here. So I just wonder, is it one of your hobbies in Vietnam or just the kind of the thing you do to after the stressful hours at work?
No, actually, it's part of my job. It's part of my job because we're working in social fields, in environmental fields, and to work in this, you have to know about the country, you have to know about people, and the best way is just to go to the people. They don't come to you, they won't talk to you, so you have to drive around to approach the country's culture, to learn about people thinking, and that's actually what I really love to do. So it's part of my leisure time, but also part of my job. And it learned me one thing over now 2 years, that I don't like the country. I started to love the country. This means a big difference. And so sitting together, though I do not speak really Vietnamese, but communication is internationally possible with hand and feet and just some smiles. And this makes me so confident that we can do a great job here together with the
I know that now CSR is one of the top priority in the firm. So as for you, how can you evaluate the importance or the roles of CSRs in managing the enterprise?
Yeah, there is, I think, a big misunderstanding, still quite widespread, that CSR is something nice to have. This is, if we earned enough money, then we do some charity. But the big problem is that charity is not CSR. CSR means how to bring a company on a level to become a good company, a company which has the license to operate, we call this in some CSR-specific terms. This means that I have the license to operate not only the legal, which is important, I also need the license to operate from my main stakeholders, which are in this case, number one, my workers, my clients, my community, my neighbors, and so on and so on. But those people have to consider me, okay, this is a good company. These are honest guys. They are doing good business, and they can earn money. That's it's not a contradiction. Earning money and CSR comes together. but I have to do it in a way that everybody can accept it. And then I get, on the long term, higher profit and sustainable profit.
So CSR now is a very important part leading to the success of any firm. So now let's take a break. And here's a clip about UNIDO Vietnam.
The United Nations Industrial Development Organization, or UNIDO, is a specialized agent in the United Nations system, headquartered in Wien, Austria. The organization's primary objective is the promotion and acceleration of industrial development in developing countries and countries with economic in transition, and the promotion of international industrial cooperation. It is also a member of the United Nations Development Group. UNIDO believes that comparative and environmentally sustainable industry has a crucial role to play in accelerating economic growth, reducing poverty, and achieving the Millennium Development Goals.
Welcome back. So, Mr. Beranek, can you give some example of Vietnamese or foreign car companies in Vietnam which were implemented the CSR successfully?
Yeah, I would like to mention one Vietnamese company, for example, we know quite well in course of our project implementation up to now. This is My Moi, so GACO 10 here in Hanoi. And there you can see as a perfect example that they really have integrated CSR, or let's call it their responsibility, into their day-by-day actions. If you go today to the factory, a little bit outside of Hanoi, you will find things like a kindergarten for the employees' kids. You will find a health service station, which is a model. So they do not do just some sponsoring, some charity. They really work with their workers. And if you look at the success of this company and their clients, their international clients, it is very impressive. So they managed, through their responsible activities, to maintain a reliable, responsible, and valuable partner for international buyers.
So according to your examples, I know that there are nowadays there are so many enterprises, not only Vietnamese firms, but also the foreign firms have been doing CSR. But besides that, there are a lot of companies that they do not care about CSR. So as for you, what is the reason for this issue?
It's, I think it's a misunderstanding.
Yes.
The misunderstanding is coming from not a low awareness, but a low understanding. CSR, a long time, as I mentioned at the beginning, was seen as something additional. But if a company today is actively working on the basic issues related to labor and environment, this means labor is about working hours, the condition of work, health and safety is a topic, and environment is about waste, pollution coming either from production or through the supply chain or the sales chain. This is not considered as part of CSR. We try now to raise the understanding.
Yes.
It is not a secret. And treating your people well finally leads to better productivity, and this leads to higher profits. So a lot of companies do probably CSR, but they don't know. And I tell you, they should continue in this way. This doesn't matter. As long as they improve, it doesn't matter how you call it.
Yes, so there are some issues that, especially the small businesses, they often say that their accumulation is low and maybe they are not in the position of surplus money, so that they cannot implement CSR. So what is your view about this point? Yeah,
that's a general excuse. I really call it an excuse we hear very often. We don't have money. We don't have money, we don't have money. But if you think a little bit deeper, you do not need money necessarily to start positive actions inside your company. Keeping a company organized, clean and safe does not need money. It just needs the commitment. And the commitment is only coming from understanding.
Yes.
Just giving an example. Providing clean water to your workers doesn't cost you really money.
It's really simple.
It's
activity,
simple,
yes.
but it helps, providing a clean environment.
So, Mr. Beranek, before coming to the last part of our talk show today, let's take another break. And here's the clip about CSR in Vietnam.
Nowadays, corporate social responsibility is becoming increasingly important in the business operation. CSR is a set of responsible activities focusing on 4 key factors for the success of enterprise. They are employees, environment, society, and customer toward the goal of sustainable development.
Well, as far as you may know, one of the most important goals of CSR is to encourage the social impact through its activities on not only the environment and the community, but also to all the stakeholders of the public sphere. That's why the first reason is that not only Aviva through CSR support the community, but also support themselves.
CSR help enterprises increase brand image to customer, and at the same time, it is the first step of research and development process of sustainable product, as well as encourage businesses to do their current role better to address social affairs. Considering the long term, CSR is one of the decisive factors to help businesses achieve the goal of maximum profits as well as their development.
Welcome back. So, Mr. Beranek, we have just seen the clip about CSR in Vietnam. So I just wonder about what are the upcoming plans of UNIDO Vietnam to support CSR in Vietnam?
UNIDO itself has mainly 2 main directions to work. The number one is, we call it upstream. So this is supporting, assisting decision makers, lawmakers, so mainly the government, in defining, implementing, developing policies. Policies which are the future framework for legislation, for work plans, action plans, master plans. This is one thing. This is on a very high level. On the other hand, we also have activities like our project, which is mainly reaching out for, let's say, the grassroots. So directly to companies or company representatives like business associations. And in these 2 areas, we are in a moment and in future, together with all the other UN organizations, as we are a one UN country, trying to focus on environment, partly also on labor, but the big issue is green industry, green and sustainable development. CSR probably is a little bit wider as we reach out to 7 important core subjects following the ISO 26000. And there I'm quite confident that we will have, on the long time, on the long run, a sustainable impact. It is not about changing companies day overnight. This does not work. We want to change their understanding, their mind, and make them to raise the right questions.
So, Mr. Beranek, it comes to the end of our talk show today. So would you like to say something with the audience before ending this talk show?
Yeah, finally, I would like to give you 2 advices. The number one is to raise 2 questions before you change, you develop something in your company or even in real life. The number one question is the question about effectiveness. Sounds very complicated. This is the question, doing the right thing. And after this, you should raise the question of the efficiency, doing those things in the right way. This is very often forgotten. So the first question, do the right things. And the second one, do those things right. And finally, to CSR, to take away a little bit this miracle, CSR, strange expression, nobody understands, I would like to show you one thing here. CSR, we just turn around 2 letters, we make RCS out of this. And RCS stands the return of common sense. And using your common sense, together with the 2 questions, doing the right things and doing the things right, you will see you are doing CSR each and everywhere in your company in a very easy, simple way. You don't even know it, but it leads to sustainable development and finally makes your company profitable, sustainable, and you as an owner a happy guy. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Brandek, really sincere thanks for the advice for the Vietnamese firm about CSR. So, thank you for joining us today again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So that concludes our show for today. Thank you for watching Sharing Vietnam from NetViet Channel VTC 10. I'm Phương Liên. So live for today and see you tomorrow.